Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited about this interview. One of my favorite interviews to do and one of my favorite people, Lynn Gelber. Okay, you have to pay me when I say that.
Okay,
you understand that, okay?
Right.
Or at least let us eat that necklace when we're done, okay? I guess you could tell that we have a wonderful informal relationship after all these years. This is Lynn Gelber, who is now the executive director. I'm really proud to announce that for the Saratoga Chamber Players. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you. Nice
And of course, we're on location, not just any location, but in Filene Recital Hall on the Skidmore campus, where the concert that we're going to tell you about will be performed.
Right.
There's so much we could talk about here, but as usual, you know, whenever we talk about music, I always am so taken with the real sense of art that you bring to the table when you select these kind of programs, you and Jill select these kinds of programs, but the caliber of the musicians just absolutely
dazzling, isn't it?
always stun me. So let's get into that first, and then we'll
Okay.
talk about the program.
All right.
And
I also want to talk to you a little bit about some of the other things that we're doing.
oh yeah,
this
sure. Okay,
season.
then remind me, because
Okay.
it's not that I would forget, but I would
There's so
forget.
much, right.
But I want to talk about Paul Suits.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yep.
tell us and tell the viewers who he is.
Okay, Paul Suits is a really talented American who has been living in Europe for quite some time. He is right now the artistic director or music director of the Zurich Opera Company. And he has been commissioned to write an opera, to write choral work. So he has a long history of composing. And he met the other musician who's playing with us, Eric Bartlett, when they were both in New York, and they started collaborating. And Eric and Jill Levy, our artistic director, invited him to come and play. So he's arriving on January 6th to play just for us with Eric, and they're playing one of his pieces.
Now I want our viewers to know that it's an evening, and I said to, oh, it's afternoon.
Afternoon.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
3
it was.
o'clock in
Yeah,
the
it's always
afternoon.
afternoon. That's right. And on January 13th, a Sunday, January 13th, perfect time of the year on a Sunday afternoon to get cozy, sit here in this beautiful theater and listen to some absolutely incredible music. This is an afternoon of piano and cello, and I told her before the interview, I can't think of a better matching. I don't know what it is. We all have our favorite instruments and things like that, but anytime you hear piano and cello together, it's just, it's absolutely magical. So you've got, John's coming over from Switzerland.
Paul Suits is coming from Switzerland to play for us right here.
Right.
So
let's talk about Eric then.
Eric Bartlett is a cellist with the New York Philharmonic. Prior to that,
Nice gig.
Yeah, he had been principal cello for the Lincoln Center, mostly Mozart Festival, and he played with the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra. But the two of them have collaborated for a long time, and they're going to be doing Paul's very accessible piece. I don't want people to be concerned because it's contemporary music, but it's really accessible.
It's called Fantasy.
It's called Fantasy, yep.
Right.
And they're going to be doing another contemporary piece of George Walker, who is a stunning musician who just recently died. George Walker is the first African American to receive the Pulitzer for music. And at the age of 14, he had his first recital. At the age of 18, he graduated from Oberlin.
Oh my God.
Went to Curtis as a student of Rudolf Serkin. George Walker has this incredible biography.
Now that piece is a sonata for cello and piano.
Right.
All right. So it's written specifically for those two instruments.
Yeah, all of these pieces are cello and piano.
Now the afternoon, by the way, is bookended by two Chopin.
Right.
And it was so funny. I was telling Lynn before I came over for the interview, I was listening to Chopin in the studio, and again, that piano music, hands down, most people would agree, is just exceptional piano
Yeah,
music.
it's gorgeous music.
But the combination, again, of piano and cello,
Yeah.
right? That intimacy between those two instruments. Now you're talking about musicians of the caliber that Lynn's describing, and you begin to understand why the Saratoga Chamber players have this absolutely just exquisite sense of music and how to program it and how to put it together. It's really something, Lynn.
Yeah. Let me tell you about some of the other things that we're doing.
Which I had forgotten about. Oh, you're not shocked?
We're going to be part of, no, we're going to be part of First Night with 3 of the members of the Orchestra of St. Luke's with Jill Levy, our artistic director, waltzing into the new year. Mm-hmm. And they'll be doing in conjunction with Tango Fusion.
Oh, fantastic.
And so it's going to be very participatory, and we want everybody to come and enjoy dancing
Now,
and
do you know
listening
which
to
venue?
great music.
Which venue is going to be? If it's
St.
with the-
Peter's.
I was going to say it has to be at St. Peter's
Yeah.
if it's with the orchestra, right?
It's not the full orchestra.
Okay.
It's 4 musicians. It's Jill,
Oh, okay. Oh, God, that's great.
John
Even more
Feeney,
intimate.
the
Yeah.
bassist,
Oh, I've seen
the,
him.
the concertmaster of the Orchestra of St. Luke's,
Right.
Krista Benyon, and Teresa Solomon, a violist.
Oh,
So
that's
those
wonderful.
4 with the 2 dance instructors are going to make fun.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. We know that. We're sponsors for First Night, by the way. Look Media is.
Okay,
So we're
good.
going to be helping to promote all of those things.
All right, the other thing I really want to
yes,
tell you
yes,
about
go.
is a new project that we're doing with the Lake Avenue School in
Oh.
composition.
Fantastic.
And
the
another,
little ones. It's at elementary school.
it's an elementary school, and our cellist, Elliot Balin, who is also a composer, is coming up in February and March and going to working with Megan O'Sullivan, who's the music teacher at Lake Ave, and they are going to be composing their own pieces. Elliot will write the scores for them, and it will end up with a all-school concert at the end of the year.
You want to know something? I'm going to do something personal, just very quickly. You mentioned Lake Ave School. I'm going back more years than I would like to admit, but my daughter, our daughter, my wife and I, went to Lake Avenue. It was first school with her violin tucked underneath her arms. She looked at us and said, "Is that my school?" And then on, but we attended many recitals there.
Okay.
And, you know, again, what we're talking about here is the power of music and the arts on young people. Once they're exposed to it, and if they
Right.
participate in it, it stays with them their whole life. You and I both know this, right? So at any rate, all of these things that we're talking about are fantastic, but I want you to mark down January 13th, Sunday
Thank you.
afternoon, 3 o'clock, right here at Skidmore. Filene, it's in Zankel. You know, you're going to get
it's not-
confused a little
yeah,
bit, but you'll see the sign that says Zankel, and you've got to get inside, and you walk behind it, and you'll see
It's behind.
Filene.
Yes, it's the Filene building is behind
Zankel.
Zankel.
Yes, okay.
And it is a wonderful, intimate space,
As you can see.
well suited for chamber music,
Yes.
which is meant to be an intimate conversation between musicians.
Something tells me this is in your blood. I can't quite figure this out. Well, it's a delight to talk to you as
Thank you,
always.
Jesse.
I really can't wait for the concert. It'll be
It's gonna
great.
be
And all the
exciting.
other things that you've got going on.
Okay.
All right. Don't forget, January 13th, Sunday afternoon, Filene Center, right on the Skidmore campus, right in this beautiful recital hall. And if you want to see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.
Good.